Hi, I'm Sabrine. Bleh. Hi, I'm Sabrine and welcome to another Redline unboxing video. And today we have a brand new Gigabyte B360 Gaming 3 Wi-Fi board for review. Today's video is brought to you by Palit graphics cards. Palit is the world's largest and most reliable graphics card brand. In case you want to find out more, please click on the links in the description below. Starting off today's review, we actually have a motherboard that I'm quite excited about. It's one of the nicest motherboards to come out from Gigabyte in a long time. It's called the Gigabyte B360 Aorus. Gigabyte Aorus B360 Gaming 3 Wi-Fi. There are two versions of it, with Wi-Fi, without Wi-Fi. We have the Wi-Fi version today in our review booth. So as you can see, nothing much going on the front, but the one thing Gigabyte's got going for it is that they've got the Aorus branding front and center, which I do like, and Gigabyte is actually mentioned quite discreetly in the bottom right hand corner of the box. The few things they want to bring to your attention on the front of the box, as you can see here, is that it's got RGB Fusion, which is Gigabyte's take on the whole RGB lighting system. It's got built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which we will get to soon, but they have mentioned that on the front. And we've got the regular support for Intel Core processors, 8th Gen processors, and Intel Optane technology, and the chipsets, of course, B360. Moving to the back of the box, we have a little picture of the motherboard here, and I might say that considering the price that this motherboard is selling at, this is actually one of the more attractive B360 motherboards. I think we're seeing a trend towards more beefy looking, more gaming looking motherboards in a lower price segment from all manufacturers, and Gigabyte have built a gorgeous board. We've got the specifications, which are pretty standard for a high-end B360 motherboard at this point. The main features that they want to bring to your attention are the Intel CNVI module, which enables AC Wi-Fi on the motherboard, which also has Bluetooth 4.2 built in. We've got thermal guards for your M.2 SSDs. We've got RGB Fusion supporting all or really any RGB addressable product that's available on the market that can be controlled through their software. We've got Intel Gigabit Ethernet LAN, and we've also got dual M.2 NVMe slots, and essentially a built-in DAC, which is for high definition audio. So that's a digital to analog converter for all of you audiophiles out there who've got headphones. So it's got better than average, I would say, DAC. So we'll probably get to that in a bit. So let's get on to the unboxing of the book, shall we? Is this part included? You can include it, it's okay. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so opening the box, we'll see what do we have. Well, we have the motherboard itself, front and center, as you can see there. Alright, opening up this motherboard without damaging the packaging, which is not my strong point. Alright, so as we can see, taking the motherboard out and essentially putting it on the anti-static bag because we don't want to damage it. So as you can see, the motherboard's quite attractive. It's got essentially a black and grey color theme, which I'm gonna admit I'm quite a fan of. We've got essentially a heatsink here with the Gigabyte Aorus branding. RGB addressable sections will be this Gigabyte Aorus logo over here, as well as this LED strip over here. As you can see, we have the circuitry for the high definition audio over here in the bottom left corner, and we've got all of the regular I/O you'd expect, reinforced PCI Express slots, and really the motherboard really shines in that we have two USB 3 ports here, we've got a USB-C port, we've got HDMI, we've got DVI, we've got another USB 2 ports up here. Actually has a legacy PS2 port, which is not bad, and you have essentially a high-end DAC USB port that they say that delivers with less noise, so in case you're using a headphone, you're going to want to plug that into that. So onto the packaging. Let's see what we get. We get the Wi-Fi chip. Now you're going to be seeing this Wi-Fi chip on a lot of motherboards, as you can, if you would have known from our last bottom line episode. Intel is making a big push for onboard Wi-Fi on all of its chipsets. So this B360 motherboard right now is the first chipset that you're starting to see this push for. It's inclusive of, these motherboards are going to be inclusive of a special little card which is going to actually plug into the motherboard. So this particular card doesn't come pre-plugged, it comes separately. Now this goes into a PCI Express X1 slot, and it's got two antennas here which are also included in the package. We'll get to that. And it comes with a little riser, so this goes into one of your expansion slots. So keep that in mind when you're building. You're going to need one X1 expansion slot that this is going to go into in case you want Wi-Fi. You've got a good looking Aorus not Wi-Fi, but an Aorus backplate in black, which is pretty nice. Would like to see maybe more motherboards with these pre-installed, which you find on certain high-end motherboards. We've got it's a single antenna that you've got going for this motherboard. I guess you can't expect too much considering that it's selling at well below 25,000. But you have the connection to the two connection points, which means you're going to get a strong connection. And you have that one magnetic antenna that you can probably pop onto any place inside your casing or even outside of your casing that you feel fit. And a little bit of slack. I think you've got a little bit of cable here, so you can maybe have it a little closer towards your router outside of your machine if you want. We have got a G connector, which is essentially Gigabyte's take on the Q connector that I believe Asus came up with initially, where it plugs into all those little power reset buttons that you have in the bottom right hand corner of your motherboard. So this simplifies that by plugging in, and so you first plug everything into this connector and you just plug the connector into your motherboard. You're good to go. I like that. I feel like every motherboard needs that. You've got a couple of extra screws here. I'm not really sure what this does. And we've got the manual in a variety of languages. I think this is the manual for the Intel Wi-Fi card actually. It's not actually the manual for the motherboard. We've got the actual motherboard manual as well as the driver CD. So as you can see, Gigabyte Aorus branding front and center, and you're going to see this across most Gigabyte products nowadays. Anything that falls on the Aorus branding, you're going to see the Aorus branding first and the Gigabyte branding second. Like for example on this page, Gigabyte's not mentioned anywhere on this at all. So you've got the driver CD, cool little black driver CD, as well as everything you need to know with regard to troubleshooting or installing your motherboards inside the manual. You've got a couple of SATA cables, so keep in mind that in case you have more than two hard drives or more than two SATA devices, you're going to want to attach SATA cables on your own because it only comes with two. More screws and a cool little Aorus Wi-Fi badge. As you can see over there, it's got the Aorus logo with like an orange outline. Pretty nice all in all. Pretty minimalistic, so if you're building a gaming PC and you find like a flush surface, just put it on. It's got like 3M sticker tape. It's pretty nice. So that's pretty much everything that we have with this motherboard, which is not a lot, but also not a little either. I feel like you pretty much get everything that you need in order to get your motherboard up and running. So that essentially brings us to the end of the unboxing video. Like I said, quite a nice motherboard. I'm quite excited for it, mainly because this motherboard currently sells for about 23,500 rupees, and for that you get a B360 motherboard with pretty much everything you need. You've got RGB, dual NVMe support, up to 64 GB of DDR4 RAM, beefy heatsinks, quite good looking, which is subjective of course, but I personally feel that if you've got a build whether it's colorful or minimalistic, I feel like this motherboard would fit right in. I think it's pretty cool that you're getting motherboards around this price point that come with onboard Wi-Fi, and that is a large push towards Intel actually, or rather from Intel, which is pretty cool. And it's AC Wi-Fi no less, so you don't need to add another PCI Express card in addition to buying a motherboard like you used to. You get built-in Wi-Fi Bluetooth thanks to Intel's little module, which comes free of charge for the price. So if you're in the market, just keep in mind that the Aorus Gaming 3 comes in two flavors. It comes with Wi-Fi, without Wi-Fi, and from what I have gathered, there is a very small price difference between the two. I think something like 1,000 to 2,000 rupees. My recommendation would be always spend the extra 2,000, go for the Wi-Fi model. It's worth it. So that brings us to the end of the video. Catch you at the next one.